All right, welcome back to Hoops Chat. Still working on a better opening. I'm Mikey. This is with me is Skittles, and over here we got Landon, aka Lando. All right, we got a few topics, and we're just gonna jump in and leave. No, actually, I'll tell you guys. All right, we're gonna go over the Western Playoff hopefuls and where we feel like the seedings will end at, as well as talking about the East Coast, and even bring up LeBron James shortly. Then we'll have a secret bonus challenge for you.
LeBron
guys.
Who?
LeBron James.
Oh, I heard of him.
Yeah. So we're going to start off going over... I did some extensive research on this. Took like 2 hours, man. Going over this. Yeah.
Holy cow.
You
quit your full-time job?
I actually did this at work.
Hey, it's a good use of time at work.
That's efficiency. While working, though, right? You did this while...
Yes.
Two things at
I was
once.
multitasking
Of
on
course.
this.
I love that. I'm all about that.
So, all right. I went through the remaining schedules where the team went over, and I also compared it to 538's projections as well. And that kind of swayed me on a lot of my swing games I couldn't decide on, like couldn't guarantee a win or loss. So here's what I got. So at the end of everything, so currently we have Houston in order: Houston, Golden State, Portland, New Orleans, San Antonio, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, with the Clippers at 8th. Then... So after this, with 16 to 18 games remaining for everyone, we're gonna go over where you guys think. If you guys think I ranked them too high,
Okay.
don't cheat off my paper. There are correct answers to this.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So at number 1, with the remaining schedule left, I have Houston going 14-3, making them finish with a record of 65-17 for the number 1 spot.
Wow. Who are those 3 games they losing? Who are they going to lose
Man,
to?
I went over so many.
The
I don't remember.
Jazz?
Okay.
Holy cow.
What?
That's
The
an obvious one.
They play against Golden State, I think, again.
But they're what, 2-1 right now versus Golden State? Or
They play
2-0?
the Jazz again?
I used to think like Golden State is gonna sweep, and this is just like 2 weeks when I said Golden State's gonna sweep over everyone. But now I'm like, Houston legitimately may have a shot at it. They are so good.
Yeah.
Golden State going 12-4, ending with a record of 63-19. And I think that's totally possible, just because I don't know what the severity of Steph Curry's ankle injury that he has. Has anyone heard anything about that?
I heard he's guaranteed to be out for the next 2 games. They're going to reassess him after that. But he has had ankle issues in the past. That's his whole Achilles heel kind of thing. But he for sure, I think they would be better to keep him out longer so they can be more well rested for the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah. I don't think getting that number 1 seed is going to be worth sacrificing the health of their best player, in my opinion.
Yeah, just let him stay home with Aisha, with the kids, you know?
Yeah.
Put his feet up.
The Bahamas are nice right now.
I've heard that. I think like Steve Kerr even said it doesn't really matter like where they land.
It's
They're
home
still
court.
scary.
Yeah,
That's what they're all saying, though. I mean, you have to say that. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't care what. Like, Draymond Green's going to come out and say he doesn't
But would
care.
you care?
If I
Like,
was on
would you
the
care
Warriors,
to battle for that number 1 seed?
No. I don't
You
think
wouldn't?
so.
I
I wouldn't care.
I-
I don't think that the number 1 seed is that
as a
important.
Warriors.
If I was in the Warriors.
I do, for the reason that I think their biggest enemy is the Houston Rockets. In this playoff picture, the team that is going to challenge them the most is the Houston Rockets, and
Yeah.
I think having that home court advantage in the Western Conference is going to be so important, because like the seeds don't matter as much when you get to the NBA Finals. It's whose record.
Yeah.
And the Warriors, they could sit half of their games. I think they'll still beat the Raptors. So I think the seed does matter for them, because they need to be able to safely get to the NBA Finals, and then they can coast again.
I think that the seed matters if you're on Houston. Like, Houston needs home court advantage to be able to have a chance against the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors don't necessarily need home court advantage because they're so good everywhere.
Wait, you're saying they coast once they make it to the finals? Is that what you said before?
I think the Warriors...
Like, once they make it to the finals, they won.
I think the
Alright.
the finals is the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
I think everyone's kind of
Alright, that's funny.
sitting safely on that.
You don't think that?
No, it's just, I like never even think about like, oh, they can just coast. It's like, we made it past the hard part now.
What?
I felt like the Warriors were coasting last year in the finals. I felt like that was such an effortless series.
Yeah, they should have swept, but
I felt like they just got lazy.
Game.
That's why they didn't sweep.
All right, so I think we're Houston, Golden State. It's gonna be 1-2. No one's catching them. I don't think anyone has a chance to catch them.
No,
right?
no one's even close.
Okay, so let's talk 3 through 10.
Okay, so 3 and 4. I have Portland and New Orleans, and I feel like New Orleans kind of needs like some love there. I'm surprised that they're winning without DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't even think it's New Orleans. It's Davis,
which is part of New Orleans.
It's the New Orleans Anthony Davises. It's not the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah.
Right now.
He's also on my fantasy team.
I know.
I have moved up quite high, I think.
Number 1 seed right now.
Yeah. Woo! Ride 'em. Go Swearwolves. All right. Then I have... All right, so 5th, 6th, and 7th, they're all tied. And here's a hot topic here. So I put Utah at 5 just because Ride the Lightning. They're on fire. Hottest team. Then we have Oklahoma City and Minnesota at 6th and 7th. And they all end with 46 and 36. Yeah. 46 and 36. Would you guys move them at all between there?
Move.
Do you guys think did I put Utah too high in that?
I don't know. So right now Utah is 17-2 in their last 19 games, or something crazy like that.
Yeah, and everyone talks highly about Toronto, who's number 1 and clinched the playoff spot in the East, who have the same record over that time.
Yeah, but they're in the East, so it's a different story.
Which means Utah's better.
Utah could be. I mean, if Utah was in the East, I think they'd be in the 6th spot right now, wouldn't they? Or the 5th spot even right now.
Yeah,
something crazy like that. Anyway,
6th right now.
But Utah. I mean, Utah's my team, so I am rooting for them. I want them to succeed, but it's just crazy with Rudy Gobert coming back. They've got top 5 defense, and
he's surprisingly scoring more than he's proven in the past.
Yeah, he's scored 20 points the last 3 games, or close to it.
Yeah.
He's doing awesome. And then having to come to play in Utah is never easy.
No. I don't know if the Jazz can finish that high because they do have some easy games. Easy games meaning they're playing opponents who...
Tanking.
There's rumors that they're tanking.
Yeah, we know.
It's unproven. There's no tangible evidence. But they do have some tough games. And their most important ones are going to be against the teams that you listed because they play the Timberwolves and the Thunder in this final stretch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can't. Did they play the Timberwolves twice? Because if not, then they've already lost their series against the Timberwolves.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I know they play them at least once, and so they might have already. Oh no, because they just beat them the other week, so I think they have this last match, and if they win it, that'll be their 4th game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It comes down to their matchups. Can they beat those teams that we listed?
I think that's why I had them having a few swing games where I couldn't decide where I just went to 538 to help them. I have them ending 10-6, which is the best.
The Timberwolves or the Jazz?
The Jazz.
Okay.
Ending 10-6 on the rest of their record. Which would be the best outside of the top 2. No one else would have that same thing.
Yeah.
Going for them. So you guys think Utah would be 5 then?
I think Utah's in. I don't know if 5 is the right
thing.
I don't.
Do you think Oklahoma City would still be ahead of them?
I don't know. So I've watched a couple Oklahoma City games and a couple Minnesota games this year, and I'm still so confused by their offense. Even though I know Minnesota's got a great. I mean, they're up in the top 5 or 6 offense, whatever. But they don't have anyone on their team who can create their own shot, really. Jimmy Butler can get buckets. What's his name?
Out.
Right? Jimmy Buckets, but he's gone for...
Also on my fantasy team. Hurts me.
I know. But it's, Minnesota is so interesting to me because without Jimmy Butler, I see them dropping quick.
Yeah,
I think that too.
I think the teams, so the Thunder, the Nuggets even, and the Jazz, I think their playoff position is highly dependent upon how far the Timberwolves will drop and how far the Spurs are going to drop because they both have issues right now with missing their best player. How far are those teams going to slip? Are they going to lose some games they shouldn't lose? And if so, I think that's going to determine where the Nuggets finish and where the Jazz and the Thunder finish.
Yeah.
That's what my thought process was too, and that's why I have Utah finishing at 5. Is just because Utah for a while has not lost a game that they weren't supposed to win. Yeah. If that made sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the Spurs real quick.
Yeah.
have had a 50-win season every year going back to 1998. Wow. And that was the lockout season. They went, I think it was like 37-13 or something.
When did they get Timmy?
97.
Yeah.
So they've had 20 consecutive seasons going to the playoffs and winning 50 games.
Will this be the first one that they're out?
This could be the first season that they don't win 50 games and don't make the playoffs.
Yep. There's trouble in San Antonio, and not even just Kawhi being injured. Kawhi's mental state is unknown.
Yeah, because he's cleared to play. The doctors have said you're good to go.
It's something weird. It's like some kind of like trophy. I can't remember, like not like an actual trophy. It's like in the word, and I remember I asked my brother who's in med school. I asked him about he just wants a trophy.
My brother's in med school, huh?
Well, he is
in San Antonio, even, right?
Yes. So I asked him about it, and he said it's like more of like it basically means like he's hurting, block, right? But yeah, the doctors don't know why. Like there's no like exact reason why.
And yeah, that's just a mystery, and there's so many uncertainties.
But he's supposed to be back.
He said he's coming back. But does he have enough time to get in?
And will he make like? I know he's like been in like the MVP considerations before. Like, will he instantly catapult a team that's like on this decline right now?
I don't know. I know I wouldn't want to be some bench player or just some like fringe starter on the San Antonio Spurs who doesn't make the playoffs for the first time or like doesn't hit the 50 wins, because then you just go into that locker room after and. You know, Greg Popovich, he's just gonna give it to his team if they don't make the playoffs. Yeah. Knowing him, like that's gonna be a scary time.
Okay, so San Antonio is what it sounds like. We all think has the potential of slipping out.
I think they're either 8th or out.
Okay, so who do you think would have the best possibility of taking their spot? I have Denver and Clippers tied as well, but they'd be out with 44 wins.
The Clippers surprised me last night against the Cavs.
They're all offense. Clippers don't. I
don't take any wins against the Cavs as much.
Neither do I, especially without Kevin Love. I don't see a win against the Cavs. It's like, man, that was a good win.
I was getting really annoyed after the trade, and like the Cavs are contenders again. Yeah. And like they just added Rodney Hood, George Hill, and Larry Nance, and Larry Nance has been like the best addition of those three.
He's playing great.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch too.
LeBron's LeBron.
You can't bet against LeBron.
Yeah. I know that, but I feel like
just like we were talking earlier, he beat the Nuggets in the fourth quarter the other night.
But I will say the Clippers do have a good counter to LeBron. Like LeBron has a hard time against rim protectors, right? He can get to the rim whenever he wants, but if you got a big guy in there who can clog things up, like a DeAndre Jordan, like that's difficult for LeBron to do.
Yeah.
To work against.
I am going to say the Clippers, due to they play more games than anyone else, and they have a pretty tough schedule. They have one of the hardest schedules in the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
I'm going to count the Clippers out, and if the Spurs are going to slip out, I think it's going to be the Nuggets, even though they've got their issues lately.
This killed me making this. I'm like, oh my gosh, the Nuggets would be out. So being like a huge Denver Nuggets fan that I am, like, but it totally is. They lost to Dallas earlier this week. It's garbage.
That's pretty bad.
A bunch of garbage. That's what that is. All right, so that's where we get. Doesn't sound like we really would change anything too much about where I have everything. All right, so with that, also sticking with the East, who would you guys say is a top team? Like, who would you guys say is you're going to be in the finals in the East, and also a dark horse?
I like the Raptors. I love what their secondary unit does. Mm-hmm. They come off the bench and they don't miss a beat. The offense is scoring at the same rate. The Raptors are an impressive team. My dark horse is always going to be what they always say is in the playoffs. It's whoever has the best player, and I go with the Bucks. I think the Bucks.
That was out of nowhere.
The Bucks.
I think
the Bucks.
After we just talked about LeBron. Well, this is dark horse.
Yeah, dark horse.
All right.
I'm saying
you put the Cavs out.
The Cavs, the Celtics, and the Raptors. Besides those three, who's going to surprise us this year in the Eastern Conference playoffs? And I would choose either the Bucks or the Pacers. I think both of those teams could have the potential to surprise us. The Pacers lose games that they shouldn't, but they can perform in big games.
Yeah, I agree with that. You have any thoughts on?
I would say I mean, the favorites are the top three for sure. You got Toronto, Boston, and Cleveland, and I would say 95%. I'm 95% sure that one of those three teams go to the finals. 5% chance that it's the other bottom. 5?
Miami's my dark horse.
Miami, I would say Miami. No one wants to play Miami in the first round. That's what I would say. I don't see Miami going past maybe one round, but no one wants to play Miami in the first round.
Yeah.
Especially with Dwayne Wade coming back.
Statistically, he hurts them still.
I think I agree that he's not the player that he once was, but him just going there and like revitalizing, maybe not the team, but just like the whole city and how everyone like comes together and uses him as like, oh, we got D Wade back. Like, I mean, that's pretty cool for playoffs.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind giving him the ball in the last 20 seconds of the game.
Oh, no, he still makes.
Yeah, he'd be the clutch baker.
For sure.
I trust him.
Baker.
He's the best baker
He's
in Miami.
He's baking up some of those shots.
Okay.
He had some cool fadeaways over the backboard.
Yeah. All right. So we all decided Miami is going to play Houston in the finals. Okay. Glad we got that out of the way. All right. Bonus round. You guys ready? So they have no idea what's going to be.
Double Jeopardy.
Okay. You guys, who is the most attractive coach in the NBA? You can go any assistant or...
Oh, I don't know. Assistant coach is coach.
Ooh, I know one.
Coach.
That instantly came to my mind. Again, there is a correct answer.
Most attractive
coach.
I'm going to have to go with who I know. I think Steve Kerr is a good...
Ooh, that's a solid choice.
He is like a handsome dad type guy.
Yeah.
He's got a great... I mean, he's in great shape.
He looks predictable. You know he runs in the morning, and he probably does hot yoga on the weekends. You know what you're getting with Steve Kerr.
It's true.
Is that what you guys... Are you both saying that?
I'm not saying that. I know there's a better answer.
There is.
But...
Well, you discuss this.
I'm trying to think. Who is...
Are you going to Google hottest NBA coach?
Quinn Snyder might have the nicest hair.
Oh, gosh.
Quinn Snyder might have the nicest hair.
He also looks like he killed someone before every game.
He is insanely scary. You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley or something.
I hope everyone has seen the GIF, right?
Oh, we have all seen the GIF, yeah.
I think you just made a GIF.
I just made it. Okay.
What was the right answer? Wait,
it just came to me.
Honestly, my right answer, Mike D'Antoni with a mustache, most handsome man in the NBA.
That's solid.
Without a mustache, he's like a 6 out of 10.
I think Quinn Snyder is an attractive fella. Like, he's got style with his, like...
I actually...
Oh, yeah, he's got the curls.
Yeah.
They flow.
My heart tells me Quinn Snyder, but I try to deviate from the Jazz as much as I can. Going down the Warriors tangent as well, I think Mike Brown's also an attractive,
I don't know, Mike Brown, whenever I see him, like, I feel like his glasses are too small, and they, like, pinch his fat head that he has. So I cannot agree with you.
Really? I think he's also just a good-looking dad. Maybe that's the look I'm going for, I guess. I don't know.
Just attractive dads. I'm going with Luke Walton. That's my choice.
Oh, no. No.
Chin.
He's got a chin, but man, he's like a big oaf to me.
What?
I do not
You think of his dad.
Luke Walton is not a handsome man. I was going to say, if it wasn't D'Antoni, I'd say Dwayne Casey.
I was thinking Dwayne Casey,
Dwayne Casey is a handsome man.
Yeah.
And he takes, he's there on the sidelines, just looking at his team. He's a proud coach right now. No way. That guy's got no hair.
That's all we're going to do. We went a little bit longer, but that's cool. Thanks for watching Hoops Chat. I got nothing.